Oh, you picked your project.
Yeah, I'm gonna 3D print portal veins.
Well, that is amazing, Mare. How are you gonna do that?
Okay, don't. That's why I didn't tell you. I have a career and a family, and I'm going to do both. What I don't have time for is for you to tell me that I can't.
I never said that.
No, I was always there for you, for whatever you needed. And now, this is when I need you. And you're supposed to help me. And instead, last week you pushed me aside because I had a baby. You don't have time for me now? Because you don't have time for people who want things that you don't want.
Some breakups don't come with roses, screaming matches, or dramatic exits. They come in silence, in glances across an OR, in the way two people who once knew everything about each other suddenly don't speak at all. In Grey's Anatomy, we've watched love stories bloom and crash, but nothing hits harder than when best friends become strangers. Because in a hospital where life and death are constant, friendship is the heartbeat that keeps these doctors going. Welcome back to Cinema Clips, where today we're diving into the friendship breakups that left deeper scars than any failed romance. From iconic duos turned cold to emotional fallouts that rewrote entire character arcs, these are the moments that made us grieve not just what was lost, but what could have been. So grab your tissues, hit that like button, and subscribe, because this one's for the friends who walked away and the fans who never got closure. Starting off at number 5, we have Weber and Catherine. For years, Richard Weber wasn't just the foundation of Grey Sloan, he was the hospital, a mentor to generations, a pillar of strength, and the man who taught others how to stand tall even when the ground shifted beneath them. But in season 15, everything crumbled when Catherine Fox, his wife, and Miranda Bailey fired him over Meredith's insurance fraud.
Bailey, it was all of us. Meredith may have done it, but I knew about it and I didn't report.
Same. It was all of us. The only person who wasn't was Andrew DeLuca.
Richard, you gotta be kidding me. You are a part of this?
Look, I'm sorry, Catherine. I know we got it wrong. It was an emotional decision and a bad one, but we just couldn't see putting that father, that family through any more of this. Bailey, it was all of us. What do you want to do?
What I want to do? Well, my God. I mean, what can I do? You're fired.
What?
Who's fired? All three of you. You're all fired.
Catherine didn't just terminate his position, she sold the very hospital he was pouring his heart into the one where he found purpose again. He was rebuilding something meaningful, something hopeful, and she took it from him. The betrayal ran so deep that even when Richard needed surgery for a hip replacement, one of the most vulnerable moments of his life, he refused to let Catherine near him.
Oh, sweetheart, the nurses are gonna bring in a bed so I can stay the night with you.
It's Catherine, it's Mom.
I know who it is. What is she doing here?
Sweetheart, I've been with you this whole time. Is your mind playing tricks on you again?
Did you stand by me while I was being fired? You buy my hospital to humiliate me, or is that my mind playing tricks too?
Richard, calm down.
Get out.
Not in the waiting room, not by his side, not even in the hallway. She offered comfort, and he turned away. Because how do you let someone hold your hand when they've already let go of your heart? At number 4, we have Bailey and Meredith.
Minnick is the residency director now, period. And you're the chief for general surgery, so I need you to get in line.
Bailey, I'm not going to get in line. I do not support this at all. It's unfair and it's unnecessary. You're pushing Richard aside for no reason. And a lot of us feel this way. I think you need to listen and hear what people are saying.
You're saying you won't let Minnick into your OR.
I think a lot of us are, yes.
Then you no longer have an OR. You're suspended. Effective immediately. Go home, Dr. Gray.
From the very first day Meredith Grey walked through the doors of Seattle Grace, Miranda Bailey was there. The Nazi, as they called her back then, was tough, no nonsense, and fiercely protective of her interns. Over the years, their bond evolved from teacher-student to something much deeper, mutual respect, even admiration. Bailey watched Meredith grow from Ellis Gray's shadow into a world-class surgeon, but somewhere along the way, things cracked.
I work more, I do whatever it takes to save her life, but what? How?
We will. We'll take care of it. We will. I don't want you to worry about the money, Louise. It's taken care of, okay? Book an OR.
Now.
figure something out. I have a plan.
Yeah, those are two different things. You heard her. She's got a plan. Go prep the patient.
When Meredith committed insurance fraud to save a sick child, Bailey didn't just see it as breaking the rules. She saw it as betrayal of the hospital, of their oath, and perhaps most painfully of her trust. Bailey fired Meredith, and while that might have made sense professionally, emotionally, it shattered everything. This wasn't just about policy, this was personal. The woman Bailey had mentored, defended, and trusted had crossed a line, and Bailey responded not with conversation, but with consequences.
And I made you study. I made you practice. I was your friend, your mentor, and every time you needed me, I was there. So, look, you can sit there and apologize to me and say all the moving words, but the damage has been done.
Bailey.
You can close the door on your way out.
Their dynamic grew cold, strained, like former allies on opposite sides of a battlefield. And at number 3, we have April and Jackson. Before April Kepner and Jackson Avery ever fell in love, they were friends. From the moment they became part of the new intern class, their bond stood out. She challenged him and brought out his better side. They talked about everything from faith to fear to failures and trusted each other in a way that made it clear this friendship was something special.
My mom is the examiner in the room right next to mine. It's throwing me. And I know, I'm worried about my mom and what she's gonna think if I fail. It's pathetic. Right?
No, God, no. Jackson, it's not pathetic. It's the most important relationship in your life.
But then came the night they crossed the line. Then came love, marriage, a baby, and unspeakable grief. After the loss of their son, Samuel, everything they built, even the foundation of their friendship, started to erode. April ran, first emotionally, then literally, by going overseas. And Jackson, left behind with his pain, felt abandoned. The wounds between them ran deep. Divorce wasn't just the end of a marriage, it was the unraveling of two people who used to know each other better than anyone else. At number 2, we have Meredith and Alex. Meredith and Alex weren't just co-workers, they were friends. They had grown up together in the chaos of the hospital, forged a bond in blood, heartbreak, and loss. So when Alex did the unthinkable and reported her for tampering with Derek's Alzheimer's trial in season 7, it felt like the ultimate betrayal.
So they're probably gonna fire me. Are you happy?
Oh, come on. They're not.
I want your crap out of my house by the end of the day.
It wasn't a decision made out of spite. He was trying to get the job of chief resident, but that didn't soften the blow. For Meredith, it wasn't about the trial or even the fallout. It was about trust. Her fury was quiet and cutting. Their friendship went cold, and for a while, it seemed like there was no coming back. They did eventually repair things, because that's who they were, but that moment stuck. Finally, at number 1, we have Meredith and Cristina. If Grey's Anatomy had one true love story, it wasn't romantic, it was the soul-deep friendship between Meredith Grey and Cristina Yang. From their intern days to running entire departments, they were each other's constants. But even the strongest bonds can be tested, and theirs nearly broke more than once. One of their biggest fractures came in season 10, when Cristina bluntly told Meredith that she was becoming mediocre, too focused on her marriage and family, and not enough on being great.
I worked my ass off to do that surgery with you, and you stole it from me. That was
Meredith,
low.
you were unprepared, you were unfocused, and you were late. I didn't steal that surgery from you. I rescued that surgery from you.
Oh,
because you couldn't do it.
I understand that you believe you are God's gift in medicine, but I am every bit as talented and competent a surgeon as you are.
No, you're not.
Coming from anyone else, it might have been shrugged off. But this was Cristina, the one person who always believed Meredith could be more than just Ellis Gray's daughter. Her words cut deep. Meredith in turn accused Cristina of not valuing the life she'd chosen. It wasn't just a fight, it was an identity crisis for both of them.
Oh, you picked your project.
Yeah, I'm gonna 3D print portal veins.
Well, that is amazing, Mare. How are you gonna do that?
Okay, don't. That's why I didn't tell you. I have a career and a family, and I'm going to do both. What I don't have time for is for you to tell me that I can't.
I never said that.
Well, I was always there for you, for whatever you needed. And now, this is when I need you. And you're supposed to help me. And instead, last week you pushed me aside because I had a baby. You don't have time for me now because you don't have time for people who want things that you don't want.
For a while, the silence between them was louder than any argument. But what made this friendship iconic wasn't perfection, it was resilience. They had the courage to tell each other the ugly truths and the grace to forgive. Even when Cristina left for Zurich, she didn't just walk away. She told Meredith to be the sun, and Meredith never forgot. Some people say romantic heartbreak is the hardest to heal, but in Grey's Anatomy, it's often the friendships that left the deepest scars. These weren't just side plots or filler stories. These were soulmates who stitched each other back together after tragedy, who knew each other's truths even when no one else did. So when those bonds broke, it wasn't just painful, it felt like losing part of the show's heart. Which one shattered your heart the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more emotional deep dives from Grey's Anatomy right here on Cinema Clips.